Yeah. 28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little people the king, little people the king. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. I'm the champion, I'm the champion, I'm the champion, I'm the don't know why you can't wanna wait to be when it's sweet just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early didn't finish the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best hands rap game and I continue to win. See, I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. Like you phony rap cat, I'm about to make it squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ATL on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you, rap cats, so you niggas my sons, and I'm the truth. Wow, cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the A&T, but I carry my throne. God bless every child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out here better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you die. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the how. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the little cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. Yeah, put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people leaking trade lunch. And my throne and I'm the key. You can put that on my heart and I'm the God. Cause I'm the motherfucking champion.
That's right, y'all heard him. He said he's the champion. You better hear him. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Anthony Brown Show. This segment that we call the ATL. So wonderful to be back in the number one more time. I'm joined tonight by none other than my sister, Tiama Sweetness.
Hello, beautiful folks.
Yes. You making money down there at the casino?
Listen. Yes.
And of course, we have none other than my brother from another legacy, the great.
What it is, everybody? ATL hold.
Yes. Tiffany has been on the show in the back commented since 8:40. So she was in the
Hey, Tiffany.
She was in the studio helping the janitor set up the chairs and everything for the crowd to come in. So thank you, Tiffany, for helping us set up everything.
How you doing, Miss Tiffany?
Yes. Welcome, Danisha. How you doing? Make sure y'all both of you click that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. It means the world to us. Hit that thumbs up and hit that share button. Yes. So, Tiama.
Yes, baby.
How long you been to the casino? How much you lost?
Let me tell you. I just pulled up, and what had happened was my phone dinged, and it was like, "Bitch, you know today Friday." I'm like, "Child." I was too busy dropping off kids. This why you supposed to have a brother daddy. My son is older. Justin is older. He said, "Daddy." I be like, "Get your jit. Here you go." I get my little brother. Yeah, go. Yeah, here you go. I got keys.
Or hire a nanny.
That is the nanny. That's as closest to a nanny I'm gonna get.
I know that's right.
Honey, you know I don't trust people. And bitch, you hit mine and I catch you on camera.
What? You ain't gotta catch them on camera. What I'm saying, you still going.
But no, I hadn't just pulled up. I just pulled up. So that's how I'm winning, because all my money's still on my person.
That would definitely be a good evaluation of the situation.
But honey, what I
That's like
tell you,
tell people when we was doing lottery pools and stuff. I'm like, I already won. I still got my dollar.
who you telling?
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw your thing come in. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, broadcast that thing.
Oh wow. Well, Donnell is not going to be able to be with us tonight. He's in church service. But he definitely said he'll be a Tuesday because he has an idea for a topic for Tuesday as well. Um, so he's not going to be with us.
Mhm.
And I was hoping Juicy was going to be here or Don Allen because I sent them something I wanted them to read. So I guess I'm going to have to find it and read it myself.
Find it
Uh,
and read it.
I sent it to them earlier, and now when you're constantly receiving emails and text, whatever you sent moves down. So now I got to find it. It was
But
something pertaining to one of the videos I want to show.
mm, it's been a crazy week.
Do share with us.
No, I'm just saying it's just been a crazy week. I mean, we already back at Friday. It seemed like we were just doing this Friday.
Okay, I found what I had to read
See,
for them to read.
I was going to get chocolate wasted. Yeah,
The
this
hell
been a
is
long
that?
week for me. Period.
Not wasted.
Who me?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, listen. I'm finna get chocolate wasted. I have someone that will be my designated driver,
Make sure. Okay.
honey. So I ain't gotta worry about that part. I drove, but I'm smart enough to get in another car to go home. Uncle Tony. So, oh, you got it.
That you got to make a trip to my house. Okay. No problem. I'm here, niece. Um, how many of y'all love like oxtails? Even the audience, comment comment below. Let me know if you like oxtails, the Caribbean
That's like one of my favorites.
oxtails. I love oxtails. Actually, when I was first introduced to oxtails was probably in 2003, somewhere in there. I was introduced to oxtails, and believe it or
Who
not,
introduced you?
this young lady named Renee. She was
I thought you was gonna say
a white
Junior.
female, but she was married to a black man, a minister. So she knew how to cook the black people way. So she
Mm-hmm.
introduced oxtails to me, and she tricked me because she knew I didn't like oxtails, and I'm saying I didn't like them because I had never tasted them. And my concept of oxtails was how much meat can be on a tail, and that's gonna be gross eating a tail. That was my concept of oxtails. So
But
I would
that
never
wouldn't
eat
have been your first time eating tail.
no, but oxtails.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Here we go.
So of course I didn't want to try. So she tricked me and said she was making stew beef and asked me if I want some. So I said sure. So she did it with the peas and rice and the oxtail, the gravy, collard greens, macaroni and cheese. And I tell you, that thing up, it was so good. And she was like, "Oh my god!" She used to call me Tigger That Tigger you want some more? I have extras. I said, "Yes, yeah, I have a little bit more." She gave me some more. So as I was eating the second serving, her mother-in-law walks into the kitchen and said, "Oh, you like oxtail?" I said, "No." I said, "This is stew beef." She said, "Renee, you make stew beef also?" And then Renee came in the kitchen and says, "Oops, the secret is out. Tigger, that's oxtail." I said, "Really?" She says, "Yes, and you loved it." And I've been eating oxtail ever since.
But I don't really like eating ass, so
Since when you stopped?
What? I'm glad you took the wheel. Hello. Uh-huh. Go ahead and down off over there.
I don't know what y'all talking about. I ain't never did that, but never.
Okay. I should have my witnesses in order. I said, okay, now bring to the stage.
Okay.
Oh.
One he the one saying, so if I'm down there and that
That's
tongue just sliding.
But listen, you eat tail.
Tony, she say you eat tail.
How about you?
She didn't
Well,
put a
anyway,
name to that, so she didn't put a
the reason,
name to it.
the reason why I brought up oxtail, I'm gonna read this article and I'm gonna show you this video. The price of oxtail today ain't nobody giving out no extra servings no more. Amen.
Oh no, and you at $28 or better.
Oh
And
Jesus.
that's on and look, and that's on the small plate.
Wow. Well,
Listen, it's just it's just best to go ahead and buy your own and cook it because going to a restaurant, but just one person getting an oxtail plate is like I know Tony's restaurant is like 24 something.
Right next to Tony them house, the dumpling, whatever. They $28. I just brought some yesterday.
mm.
I
Well,
don't want none that bad.
Doctor,
My niece wanted it and she had her money. And I was like, swiper, swiper.
well, take this out. Doctor Doolittle from Twitter. I'm gonna read what he wrote on Twitter. It says here, oxtail is a dangerous byproduct that is honestly not fit for human consumption. It causes neurological disease. That's why the Jamaican people who sell them are always angry. Stay away from oxtail. That's what he said.
Well,
I'll
even
take
with
my
that surgeon,
chances.
I was just see what I was gonna say. Even with the surgeon general warning, niggas still going to get oxtail. They like to be like that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, on that, I'm gonna show you this video that go against what the doctor says. Check this video out.
Hello guys, my name is Doyen and I'm on my way to try oxtail for the very first time. Now I'm going to meet up with Chef Leanne Martin. She was born in Trinidad but lives in New York City and makes Trinidadian inspired food. She's going to take me to her favorite place to get oxtail in New York City, and apparently it's on 4 wheels.
There's a slow braised oxtails and butter beans.
Oxtail is a dish that is popular around the world, but specifically within the Caribbean and within Caribbean communities in the U.S. Yes, it is what it sounds like. Back in the day, oxtail was specifically the tail of an ox. Today, it can be the tail of any cattle. What used to be considered a throwaway cut of meat is now one of the most expensive, ranging from $4 to $10 per pound, and half of its weight is bones. Jamaica's unique culinary style is a culmination of all the peoples that have inhabited the island, past and present, including the Arawaks, West Africans, Indians, British, and Spanish. Jamaican oxtail in particular is reminiscent of the African one-pot cooking traditions used by the African slaves and Maroons on the island as early as the mid-1500s. Island Spice Grill is bringing the classic to New York City streets.
So I found Leanne. We are in downtown Brooklyn on Court Street.
Yes, and that is where Island Spice Grill is on a Friday. Monday through Thursday, I'm able to get them in the city because of their mobility. It makes it way easy for me to get oxtail.
I just love the fact that they're spreading that oxtail wealth across the city. I know that oxtail is eaten across the world, specifically within different countries and islands in the Caribbean. So how does the preparation vary?
Because of the cut of meat, it's either you're going to get it in a stew or a soup. It can take a lot of cooking. Some countries would cook it with a lot of fresh seasonings and a lot of fresh herbs. countries like Jamaica would cook it with fresh herbs and the addition of dried spices like allspice.
My name is Chef D. I'm the executive chef of Island Spice Grill. So oxtail was considered a poor man's food in the islands and in Jamaica. Oxtails is considered offal, which is the less desirable part of the cattle. So a lot of butchers and a lot of plantation owners would prefer to go with higher end cuts in the meats because oxtails would just take too long to cook and it was just considered waste. But the working man, the poor man, will find many ways to use the oxtails and turn it into a delicacy. It takes a long, long process to cook, and a lot of people like to rush it. Oxtails is very high in gelatin content, so you want to cook it very slow and very low in fire, and that's where you get that meat falling off the bone, and you get that sticky feeling in your hands, and it takes minimum 3 to 4 hours to cook. For the ideal oxtails, you slow braise it and kind of stew it. It has become very expensive, almost unaffordable, but people love it, you know, and there's a demand for it. They get it with their rasta pasta, they get it with their rice and peas, they get it with their vegetables.
I love oxtails. If they cook correctly, not everybody can cook oxtails. And if you season it right, oh my God, it can last in your mouth for days.
Tender meat when it's cooked well, falling off the bone, just gravy on the rice. First time I tried the oxtail, the best. The best. I love oxtail. Can't make it, but I eat it.
Thank you so much.
Slow braised oxtails and butter beans. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I can't take this anymore. Yes. This looks so good. Yes. Let's dig in.
Let us dig in. What are some of the flavors that you're getting?
It is very tender, and it came right off the bone.
You taste the spices in there. You taste like the fresh seasoning that we use. What's really unique about the oxtail recipes coming out of the Caribbean is the use of the Amerindian and the African ways of cooking. You also have a lot of the colonial influences, but you really get a lot of the techniques that the first people used, the African slave used, using undesirable parts of the meat, cooking it in big pots, long and slow, and feeding a bunch of people.
So we have two different rices. Yes. You have rice and beans?
I have the rice and the red beans. So this is like pretty much like comfort food in Jamaica. Jamaicans, they're known for, and they cook a lot of rice and beans using the red beans, and it's always normally paired with the oxtail and a lot of gravy. And traditionally you do have your steamed cabbage and you have your fried plantains here. So what were you expecting with it being like your first time having oxtails?
I just wouldn't expect there to be as much meat on it. It kind of looks kind of bony. Yes. It's just a lot of textures on one piece. Yes. And it's really good.
It is. So to me it reminds me of like a pulled brisket. You know, it's not stringy, it's not chewy, it's very tender, and you do have the gelatinous aspect of it that people love. I personally love that part of it, just kind of getting in there with my fingers and just like eating at it, just like gnawing at it.
This is like very unique, and if you haven't had oxtail before, you have to try it. And I'm feeling
you're enjoying
I'm into it. I feel like now I'm gonna go to restaurants and be like, y'all have oxtail?
Yes.
Then you can't help me.
Yes.
Look at this. This is so good.
It's good, isn't it? It has a very concentrated color on there. It's super glossy. It's really tender. I'm so happy that you were able to come and have it in Brooklyn today with me.
I'm happy too. This is delicious.
You're like a pro now in like eating oxtails.
Thank you so much for educating me. This has been amazing.
I agree with her. I love them. I eat them. And since that day I was sick, I haven't looked back.
Well, oxtails are good, but it just amazed me how everything that they gave us or gave our ancestors as in non-valuable, chitlins, hog maws, things of that nature that they considered to be as waste and none good for them. The black man or the black woman took those things and made delicacies out of them. And then once they seen that these things became delicacies and people wanted more and more of these things because they have the access to those things, more access and more abundantly. They raise the price on these things so that, well, if this is what y'all are gonna eat and this is what y'all are gonna enjoy, let us go ahead and price these things at such a high rate to where we definitely can make a profit off of the same shit that they once never wanted before.
Right.
And from what the man said, when they were showing the video about the oxtails, these things came from an ox. So you have to ask yourself this question: either they're cloning the meat, because there wouldn't be no goddamn ox out there on the Sahara Desert or wherever these animals are, because all these goddamn tails people eating around the world, you got ox that ain't got but nothing but an open ass walking around, and they ain't got nothing to protect it. So, so either they cloning it and just selling it now at this high rate, or you eating cow ass now. Because
well, they're from all mammals now. All the animals or whatever they said. It's not just the ox no more.
Yeah, and they said it's more of the cow than the ox now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's, the cow is a ancestor, well, not ancestor, but a relative of the ox.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know what we're eating. All of it still tastes delicious, but at the same time, it just don't matter how much we do. We always benefit on the back end of every delicacy, invention, or anything that we do. Is always another race that has the larger abundance and benefit more than the people who actually put in the goddamn work to get these things here. I don't understand it.
Well, they're always taking what we do. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, again, in Black history, um, the real Betty Boop
Was a black woman.
was a black woman, right? That she was a jazz dancer. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
picture. So Betty Boop was us, and for some reason they
But
took
you look
that.
at the picture. Look at the picture. It tells you why. She was a mulatto. They never take someone and say a darker version of a woman and say this is us. They never do that. They take the closest thing to white and say, hey, she on our side. So if you don't do the history on Betty Boop, you don't know that this is a white woman, that this is a black woman.
But they portrayed her as a white woman.
She portrayed herself as a white woman.
Oh.
Kamal said, I was taught from day one that it was a cowtail. I've never thought it was an oxtail. We don't have enough ox.
I ain't never care. It was good. Put it on the plate, cook it, let go.
So
Damn.
Miss,
Pretty much.
Listen, you know how how easy it is to kill black people? Put it in their food. Put it in their food.
frozen chickens.
Put it in chicken, put it in beef, put it in any meat. We're all done. And the only reason they don't do that is because a lot of them eat the stuff we eat too. That's the only reason they ain't at a high rate.
Again, in Black history, I found this here on Instagram. A mother and daughter who were working together on the same U.S. Navy ship. I thought that was quite interesting. A mother and daughter out there representing our country, doing their thing.
Mm.
I applaud them. Hats off, Black excellence.
For joining the military?
I was waiting for you with the negativity part.
Hmm?
I was waiting on you for the negativity part.
No, I'm just saying, you say that's black excellence. I'm like, they didn't do nothing but join the military.
You know he just woke up, so he not there yet.
And that's more. That's more than most people.
Um, do listen. Let me straighten something right quick. I don't knock nobody that make a decision to go into the military. That is your choice. Hip hip hooray! But at the end of the day, you are serving your master of the same organization that creates that creates the police forces and other agencies that go out here and tear black communities down. So again, if that's their choice, hip hip hooray. But they ain't did nothing of excellence other than being a black woman going into the military.
And fight for our country. The things that we didn't do.
I fight for my country every day, even on this motherfucker right here. I'm at war every day, sir. Every day.
Are you winning?
I'm living, but I'm damn sure ain't giving in, or they gonna have to take me out. I'm pretty sure it's been plenty of them. Come on, we just heard about this one.
Come on, they just say how many mother-daughter combo do you think is out there working in such capacity?
But I'm gonna say this, Kamal. I'm especially not in that, but again, nothing's wrong with it. Not saying that, but what I am saying is when you equating that to Black history, you my country 'tis so sweet, sweet land of liberty. I don't where you stay at so we can move to it. Miss Juicy Thoughts, where do you stay so we can move so we all can get that sweet land and some liberty? But again, like I said, that is good that they are supporting their family together. But it wasn't nothing historical about it.
There's always a hater in the house.
We talking about you equated that to Black history.
Shaquille O'Neal. I didn't know that he owned that much stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like he owned half of the damn universe. I'm trying to read Shaquille O'Neal owns 155. What is that?
Businesses.
Restaurants. Well, I can't see it because the writing is so small.
I can't either.
See if I can find it on my phone.
I know Shaquille O'Neal so happy that he went on ahead and got his divorce over with before he started really making this type of money with all these businesses. Cause boy, that woman would have took so much more. That woman would have took so much more. Boy, I'm just sorry, boy. I don't know. If I hit the lottery or become a multi-millionaire, I already know I ain't never getting married. Ever. Ever.
Team Tay.
Huh?
The Team Tay.
It could be whoever you want it to be. But I know there's no way in hell you tell me you don't want to be together no more and you deserve half of this. You are a dead bitch.
Oh wow.
If you want to walk away gracefully. Don't get carried away by 6. I got too much money to let you walk away like that. And it ain't about you staying, it's about what you're taking with you when you leave. But you know what? I might still get married because I'm gonna put a prenup in there.
There you go. That's all you gotta do.
But I'm gonna put 9 prenups connected.
But let me tell you, if you win all that money, why would you not want to share that with her if y'all didn't just work
I
out?
want to share with the woman that's with me, not the woman that's leaving me.
So be a good dog and she won't leave you.
I don't listen. I don't know if that is possible when this time occurs. What I do know is if you decide to leave gracefully and take this 200,000 I'm gonna give you and start over. But you're not walking
Oh,
away if I'm working 100. Huh?
I want half of everything.
You can get half. You're gonna get half of the graveyard, half of heaven.
I even want a half of your glasses, so you only gonna have one shade, and I got the other side of the shade.
Listen, I can't, but I mean, I'm looking at Shaq. When Shaq got a divorce, he really didn't have as much stuff as he has now. So once she took her buyout and went on by her business, everything that he garnered after that, she didn't benefit from.
True, because they was the one left.
Now, don't get me wrong. He did say that, and she took a lot because she caught Shaq cheating like 5, 6 times while they were married before she walked away. But you wasn't in the gym when you wasn't shooting me when I was in the gym. You ain't go to NAM practice. You know what I'm saying? You ain't do all of that. That was me with them big ass feet out there hurting with them bunions. And I asked you to suck on my big toe when I was resting, and you ain't want to do it.
But she took care of them kids.
No, my money took care of the kids. You just was there.
So if your money's sitting on the counter, the money ain't gonna just get up and take care of the kids.
The money in the bank allowed you to take your card as my wife to go swipe.
Take care of the kids.
So basically, if the money wasn't there and she wasn't making no money, who took care of the kids? Because you have to have money to take care of some kids.
Well, if the money wasn't there, then she should be getting public assistance.
This again, money started to take care of kids. That's why when women or men on public assistance, getting cash assistance, somebody have to pay the motherfucking money back to the people. Yes, he did say that. That's why I say he did say that, man. But the money is what allows you to buy the car, to buy the van, to buy the truck, to buy the house, to buy the net, to get the nanny, to get the mama or the daddy, to be able to go take the kids where they gotta go to take care of themselves. So the money takes care of the kids. The parents facilitates. Nobody's in court fighting, Tony, about, oh, he ain't in my child life. Yeah, all he do is give money. He ain't in my, nobody goes to court for that. Women go to court asking for money to take care of the kids.
check this out. Not now. I'm not looking at the hickey. See if you see what I see. Not looking at the hickey.
What, the edge?
That's a tattoo. He is bald.
And I went up there and got his whole head tatted off.
Yes. So that's what we're doing nowadays, tattooing the image.
Yeah,
the image in
yeah,
there.
Tony, they have artists that do this now, where they spend hours on top of your head with a 3 or 4 prong tattoo gun, putting your hair back on your head. Now you can't get no other hairstyle, but that's it.
Wow.
You're gonna look the same way every day.
So you can just literally wake up and go.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna knock it. You know what I'm saying? Because women get to change their hairstyle every day. They get to go to lime green, purple, blue, and do it and expect you to understand that this they have.
Wow. Well, at least theirs you can run your fingers through. You can't run your fingers through this.
You don't run your finger through a low skint anyway. When it's this real hair. So all you doing is rubbing the low skint with a nice edge.
Well, if it was brush waves, you can at least mess it up. You can't even mess that up.
Well, motherfucker better not mess up my waves when I had mine anyway. You ain't got no reason to be rubbing across these waves. I worked too hard for this. They for looking only.
But if you were hunching, they might want to grab your head. Especially if
They
they're
don't grab my head. I hold both of their wrists together with one hand and get it.
But I'm talking about what if they're down there feeding you?
I ain't never been fed cat and ass. I ain't never went and been fed cat and ass. And when I'm hungry, that's what I do. Nobody feeds me anything.
Whatever. Guess what? On a lighter note, Lizzo is now a cartoon on 2 different cartoons. I think she's on, I believe The Simpsons, and I also believe the SpongeBob SquarePants.
So you mean to tell me? You mean it? Oh God! Oh God!
This is the character she's playing on SpongeBob SquarePants, and this is the character she's playing on The Simpsons.
The waistline is too small. It ain't. It's too much material because it ain't. Listen, stop it. Stop it. Where is the extra? Where is the extra handles?
Are you fat shaming?
I'm telling you the visual of what she is. I ain't fat shaming shit. If she's ashamed of fat, then she'll do something about it.
Well, that's the image right there they've made of her.
That must not be Lizzo. That must be Smallo.
Well, that's the image of Lizzo on The Simpsons. So congratulations to Lizzo for doing her thing, making her money, grabbing her bag in 2 different cartoons.
What's she supposed to be with that one with that right there up under the seat?
I don't know. I just saw the article and I just grabbed the pictures real quick.
Congratulations on getting the bag.
I also want to say, guys,
I guess it ain't no more water in the ocean then.
Tune in to the Anthony Brown Show. I'm doing a review probably, if not tomorrow, definitely Sunday, on season 2, episode 1 of Bel Air. Just previewed last night. So make sure you all, if you're not tuned in, but download or subscribe to Peacock and watch the new season of Bel Air. It just started back, season 2, episode 1 of Bel Air. I'll be doing a review. So if you haven't seen it, tune into my review and I'll catch you up. but the drama and everything, the suspense and everything is so overwhelming. And these are some very talented actors and actresses. So definitely tune in. I was blown away. I mean,
Oh, you
it's
already
one.
saw it?
Yeah, I saw it last night. That was the premiere.
You could have called me and we could have watched it together.
You can still watch it.
Mm.
I'm not doing a review until tomorrow or Sunday. You can still watch
Mm.
it.
Okay. Well, I mean, it definitely was a good series on season one. It definitely was. I didn't think that they were going to be able to bring it back because of the situation that happened with Will. Um, but I'm starting more to believe that all of this was a publicity stunt with him and Chris Rock because there was no legal ramifications that have come about on this, and there were no charges filed on assault. And if I come to your house, Tony, and slap you, or if I slap you just out in the street, or you slap me, and the police come, somebody's going to jail.
Well, no, not necessarily because I mean it depends on if Eddie next door slapped me and you slapped me. Eddie slapped me, he's going to jail or hell, but he's going to one of them. I promise you that. You on the other hand, being my brother, you can probably get away with it, and I may look back, I may respect you differently or look at you differently, or my love for you may change slightly. But because of the love for you, I'm looking at it, that's black on black crime. Why would I want to put my brother in jail?
See, but we have to get out of that mindset of why would I want to put. You have to allow people to suffer consequences sometimes of their knowing action. Knowing
That's
action.
people. That's not your brother. That's not family. You know,
No, I'm
because
talking about no. If it just depends on the situation. If me and
right.
you have already had words, and I told you on site when I see you what I'm going to do, that means you took me out of a brother role. Or I took you out of a brother role. Or maybe it's thick thirsty. What I don't know what you're talking about, Mama Mall. But if I'm telling you that when I see you, this what it is, and I do it, that means that I took you out of my brother standard and looked at you as just somebody on the street. But
But they
if
did.
let's just, I can't hear you.
I said, but they did. They were still friends because even when he made the joke and the comment on stage, Will was actually laughing.
He
When
sure was.
he looked at Jada and saw her reaction is when he changed his because
Exactly.
he didn't have a problem
Didn't
with
have
it.
a problem with it. That's what makes me feel that it was more and more of a sketch because Will is now coming out with a new movie. I don't know if you ever watched the movie called I Am Legend,
Mm-hmm.
but he has a new movie coming out called I Am Legend 2, and Michael B. Jordan is going to be in the movie with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that even after the assault, nothing has cut him down from still being able to make financial gains in movies and in what he's making off of Bel Air. And if it was a sketch and this was over, that's all fine and dandy. But the ramifications of Tony somebody slapping somebody is by minimal a misdemeanor battery, regardless if you want to press charges or not. When you put your hands on someone in a violent way, you can be charged or you go to jail for putting your hands on somebody. If anytime you in a house and you prevent someone while y'all are arguing for moving from one place to another, that is a form of kidnapping. That's called false imprisonment.
Right.
I didn't touch nobody, but did you stop her or did you stop him from moving from out of the room where the violence or the arguing was from, or from leaving the house? Did you prevent that? Yes. Put your hand behind your back. You can't put your hand on people. It's illegal.
Right, but the person that has the prison charges will be Chris.
The state itself picks up the charges because of the fact that the other person doesn't want to. That's a form of violence, and they're trying to prevent people from doing it. So you have to make examples out of individuals.
Well, maybe Will's lawyers are bigger than the state's lawyers.
It's a possibility. It happens all the time. It's a possibility.
So, Will got that coin.
Oh yeah, he's a man that's his net worth is well over $350 million.
So he could have very well paid the state off.
Gave Chris some more money. And you know the old saying, Tony. All publicity is good publicity.
True, good or bad.
Because just imagine how long people talked about that incident, still talk about it today, and we still talking about it now. And that's damn near going on a year ago.
Make it so bad when it happened, Chris was already on tour, but his tickets skyrocketed.
Right.
And every show became sold out.
Correct.
Because they assumed that in his show he's going to talk about the slapping.
And he never did for a long time. Well, I'm with if they with it and it resurrected each one of them's career, do what y'all do, as long as y'all had an understanding.
Just drop my check off at the front.
Drop it off.
Yes, I don't care, and I'm keep reporting the news.
Yeah.
Okay. But let me show you what's going on in the latest in fashion.
Oh my God!
Check this out. What in the hell? Who left a lot? What the?
Who left the LGBTQAZ community open?
Oh, the LGBT ain't got nothing to do with this. We say,
Tony, listen, man, when I first saw this earlier today, and I knew you probably hadn't saw it, but I didn't expect it to be here tonight. Bro, this shit is out of control. But nobody wants to pick up on what the agenda is. Why is it targeted toward black males? Where is the white dude? Where is the Asian? Where is the Japanese? They got all type of models in all colors.
Right, they should have representation in all of them.
But guess what? You look, it's not directed to them. You know why? That's the whole purpose of the sagging pants, because we're the ones that do that. Nobody wants to believe there is a hidden agenda to emasculate the strongest people on the planet in the male version. And the more we do this right here, our children get to see it. They think it's cool because it's done by fashion models. And guess what? Next thing you know, you're going to be okay to walk right here ass out. As long as you're black doing it, it's not illegal. That is degrading. And for the males that decided that it was okay for them to do it, that'll be different. There's no limit.
I wonder who was the designer.
But show who created this, Tony? What magazine posted this? Ebony. And that's what's the problem with me. So that lets me know. I mean, have y'all ever seen Ebony do anything like this before?
No. I remember Ebony magazine used to always have
Beauty of the week.
No, that's Jet.
Okay, that's good.
Jet had the beauty of the week, but Jet and Ebony's was owned by Johnson and Johnson or Johnson Products or whatever, but it was owned by the same people. So one thing Ebony used to do every year is they used to have what's called the Ebony Fashion Show, and the Ebony Fashion Show travel from city to city, mostly black cities, and they would put on a fashion show of all black models. And it'd be like maybe 8 guys and about 20 women, but all models, black. And
your boy was in there, Tony.
Who?
Tyson Bedford, Tyrese. There was a lot of famous people that became, actors and movie stars from coming through Ebony's magazine and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I remember going to see the fashion show one year. When it was at the West Palm Beach Auditorium before the Jehovah's Witnesses bought the building. And it's eloquently put together, really nice, high class. And even after the show, all the models will meet outside, take pictures with you, autograph your little book, your playbill. So it was really nice how they put on this fashion show every year. And like I said, the quality of the show was up there. And but to see this.
But I mean, you gave the answer, Tony. You explained who owned Ebony, Johnson and Johnson, and Johnson and Johnson is not owned by a black ran company, right? Black owned business person. So anything to what's the word?
Demasculate.
Anything to exploit the black male in a negative way. These people behind the scene don't care. So we have to understand that we have to have a standard within ourselves and within our culture, within our race, that if you want somebody to model this type of stuff, go get you a white boy. Because white people are not going to allow their race to be represented in this facet.
And that goes to say, but there are people who just modeled it. And so why are they okay with it?
That's why I said the standard,
Juicy,
because
that comment that Chantel had just said, she said laugh out loud, but it was some seriousness about it. Dare to be different. There's no limits. That's what we've come to.
Are we saying that that in every facet of life or business and everything, if we dare to stand for something, we'll fall for anything?
Oh, I say that.
Okay. Because this is ridiculous. I mean, and this ain't about whether the individuals live an alternative lifestyle or not. They probably don't. They probably do, but that has nothing to do with it. This is a gender attack and also an attack on emasculating the black male.
I agree. I 100 wholeheartedly agree.
So it's just been y'all two, man.
No, Thelma came earlier.
But she's at the casino.
She's at the casino.
Yeah, so she's down and losing some money.
Or winning.
Win big enough to share.
No, I'm gonna say she's losing because she ain't on the show with us.
That means she win.
That means she winning, didn't it?
No.
Some argument. I must still win something positive.
If you ain't lost nothing, if you ain't lost it, you won.
But if she lost, she was like, man, forget that. Let me go on and get on my show.
What we got next, T?
This is an inspiration. This is one of the black pastors I happen to follow on YouTube and on TV. I love his preaching. You know, I always got something inspirational, Juicy. You finna cry again, girl. But here goes.
God told me to simply come out and tell you today, take up your space in the earth. It is time for the people of God to stop living in seed form. It's time for you to blossom and take up your space in the earth. It was designed for you. There's a space in entertainment that was designed for you. There's a space in the educational system that was designed for you. There's a space in the government system that was. And when you don't take up your space, you leave room for the enemy to fulfill it with a counterfeit. And why you're complaining about, why don't they do something about, because you didn't take up your space? Or why on the Grammys, they did that because you didn't take up your space. And why they did that? Because you still sitting here scared of what God put on the inside of you. You still won't make the business plan. You still won't pray out loud. Take up your space. I was designed for dominion.
That's the word for the day. Take up your space.
Go back and put up Chantel's last statement. That need to be before we move on right quick.
So now society now accepts any and everything if it has the potential to make money.
Correct. So correct.
That's so sad. Here's something that I didn't know in legacy. This might help you with your legal legacy. Your firm, your business practice is something that you may want to include or you start promoting. I didn't know that if let's say I got arrested and was found not guilty, so technically not an expungement, but technically there's a way to remove that from your records. Check this out.
It says that I'm there for robbery, but it's dismissed, but it's still on my record.
You can get it removed. Arrests, and folks need to understand this, arrests that don't lead to convictions can be removed by going to the court that acquitted you. You get the court order of dismissal, or from the prosecutor's office when they give you a no charge order or what have you. You take that to the, unfortunately, take a little leg work. You take it to the police department and ask to have your fingerprints returned, and ask for it to be taken off of the database. And then there will be no record of an arrest. And if you do have one conviction, then you can have that expunged after 5 years. What you gonna say? Stand up. Stand up.
So this ain't got nothing to do with the case. So anything I got on my record that's dismissed, I can have that removed?
Absolutely.
That's all I want to know.
Absolutely. And this is a big issue, and that's why I'm spending a minute on it, because so many people are arrested erroneously just for being in the wrong place, particularly people in poor communities. You walking up and down the street, police jump out, they think you look like somebody, or they think you look like you're doing wrong. And what they call it, illegal search and seizure. They throw you up against the car, take you down, then find out you didn't do anything. Well, it's on your record from then on. And so that's a big problem.
That's some good to know stuff.
That's right. That's a big problem. That's one thing for sure, two things for certain. You always gonna learn something on the ATL show.
But what I've noticed, Tony, is a lot of people, even law enforcement, they're all on YouTube and StreamYard and Facebook. Some of them have become so tired of the system that they're working in and for, that they have started to do just what Judge Mathis is doing now. And this information been out here for years. The problem is, why aren't your public defenders, why aren't your attorneys, once they get these charges dismissed, why are they not telling you, now take this, go to your police department who arrested you, ask them, tell them to give you your fingerprints back and to remove it out of the database because this charge no longer stands. Because when they pull you over and those charges are still there, even though you went to court and they get dropped, when they hit the NCIC search in the police database to see who you are, everything that you have ever been taken to the to jail about shows up. So when even let's say if I got a drug charge and I beat it and I ain't got that on me no more, and that's the only charge I've ever had. When the police pull me over and they run my name, even though it's an illegal search, I mean an illegal stop and seizure, they pull me over, run my name. When they run my name, it shows drug charges. So now that gives them, or they assume that they have the probable cause enough now to say, do you mind if I search your vehicle? Instead of just giving me my ticket and allowing me to leave. But these are the things that should have been done by your public defender or by your attorney. If you paid an attorney $5,000, $6,000 to get this case dismissed, he does his job, but he hasn't completed his job until he goes back and have that removed off of your record.
Unless he has that as an additional service and additional fee, which also that's where you come in.
Correct. And this is definitely something I'm going to dive into for real, because I can see the headache that's going to come behind this. Because when you are the person who starts something new that people don't supposed to know about, and now you got people coming up to clogging up the police department, the sheriff department, talking about this. Now it becomes a headache for these people because they ain't been having to deal with this matter. So they're going to find any way that they can to distract you or divert you from doing this because they don't want to do their job. You just like you say, it takes a little legwork, but you have to be very, before you start it, you need to get very diverse in what it is you're doing. Because before I dive into it, I would definitely experiment on myself first and go see just how hard it is. But that is definitely a service that I can see myself promoting. Good evening, Pastor Tyrone Reagan. How is my auntie doing and my family up your way, bro?
Good evening, Tyrone. Make sure you click that thumbs up, that like button. That's interesting. When I first saw that on the Instagram, I think it was on the Instagram or TikTok of Judge Mathis, I said, "Oh my God!" First thing I thought about was you, Legacy. I said, "Oh my God, Legacy needs to add this to his list of services," and I'm sure it could be easy $1,000. You know, I'm thinking of
I mean, it's easy to do it, but a lot of people don't understand that where the amount of money. Adrian, what it is? Adrian, ATL, ho ho. But listen, a lot of people being in the business that I'm in, bro. You and Juicy both, I promise you, everybody good. Y'all, I know y'all because y'all are very meticulous in the things that you do in your business. Both of you can understand when it comes to providing a service, especially to our people who don't know a goddamn thing about how much work you got to put in, the leg work to putting the bottles together for your perfume, doing the inventory, making sure you got enough of everything stocked up. They don't understand the legwork. Juicy, you mixing your juices together, having everything cold and ready for these people, having enough inventory in your thing, and they don't understand the legwork of, yeah, you come to me with a service and trying to get my service, but when I'm telling you that in order for me to do this right here, I'm going to need $700 or I'm going to need $500. you're not understanding that the leg work behind it is going to be gas consuming, paper consuming, knowledge, and the wit and the wherewithal to be able to go in here and speak intelligently enough to get these people to hear what it is you're trying to get accomplished. And they think that you're supposed to do this work for them for little or nothing and don't want to pay you. Tony, in your business, especially with the notary and the what's the thing you do so that's that the people have to pay that money to have it shipped to Tallahassee?
The apple stills.
Yeah, the apple stills. A lot of your customers come in with when you tell them what your payment is, even though at that moment they don't understand that you are the cheapest person in Palm Beach County with this job, with this what you do. And until they shop around and see that other people are charging this much more money than you are, then they come back. But those are people more or less like us. When those white people, them Asian people, them Jews come in there to spend that money, Tony, do they argue with you about that price?
They quickly hand me their credit card.
Hand you the credit card and tell you to take a $50 tip, don't they? And we have to get out of the mindset that because we are the same color, that you are supposed to always get something at a very discounted price, but expect the same service as the person that paid the $1,000 or the $800 or the $1,500. You can't expect that. You can't expect to go out here and buy these shoes that you get out of Payless to do the same things and have the same quality as the Jordans, the LeBrons, the KDs, the Kyries. You can't expect that when these shoes cost $250 and your shoe costs $8.42. That don't work like that.
Exactly.
You can't expect a car that you bought, and not saying that it don't, but you can't really expect the car that you purchased for. Hold on,
you have to find a way to get people to buy into the service. The population you market to may not always be the population that seek your service. That's true.
That's so true, Chantel.
And that's why when you do your business planning, you got to go through your demographics and pick who your target audience is that you're marketing to, where they are in the vicinity of the area that you're marketing, because you might want to market to the young crowd, but they not on Okeechobee Boulevard, because that's where, the Jewish community has locked down. So you got to go find where they are and target that area. But I also wanted to say, Shaquille O'Neal shoes is in Payless. Simmer down.
No. I didn't even know they had any Payless. No more. I ain't seen a Payless in forever.
They have a few around. One or two still drink.
But that's why I didn't. But Shaquille O'Neal shoes, the factory and the company that he used is the same company that Jordan used.
That's why I said that.
Because they definitely have the same quality as the Jordans do to a degree.
That's why I said that, because his purpose for making that shoe and putting it in Payless was so that the younger kids or who couldn't get them would be able to
get a good quality,
nice quality, and a shoe of an NBA basketball at a price they can afford. But those shoes went up to $29.99.
That goddamn Juice said. Juice say them shoes went up to $29.99.
Because I always found my kids a play shoe for them to go out and play. Run a hole in them, do whatever you need to do. But then the shoes, when we go places, they nice, they clean, they whatever. But we play basketball, we play kickball, soccer. We go out and we outside, so them shoes went up. And to buy everybody a pair of playing shoes for $30 when they were
Kate,
they were $14.
But Kate, but compared to the average shoe that's out there that has great quality, that's not going up compared
What?
to when I was growing up when I was growing up and you was growing up, and Tony had about 17 more years ahead of us. But when we were growing up, Jordans were $99 and Air Max were $99, $100. Reeboks was $44 in Reebok. I mean in Foot Locker. And the more we fashionize these shoes as a culture, the more that allows them to raise the profit of the shoe. White people, truthfully, let's be honest, the white culture did not jump on Jordans when they first came out until black folks made it a fashion statement.
You know, is LeBron's shoe is the one that got like the, I think like an LJ and then the crown, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When his first came out, they had like that his mark on the front of the shoe or the toe.
Mm-hmm.
Them things was just stickers. My baby pulled them things off, and we bought those shoes out of Foot Locker. And he didn't do just one pair; he did a couple pair. He would just sit and he would peel right off.
Wow.
So quality, no. Name.
Listen, Jordan and LeBron have shoes that run thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
and right now, if the right demographic got with a black shoe designer or some music or some rappers right now, take a black shoe designer and start rocking their shoes and putting it in fashion, overnight that company's stock will shoot through the roof. Overnight, the white culture, and we can include the Asian culture now because they definitely bite our culture way more than they used to. And you can be an overnight sensation millionaire. All you have to do is have a few rappers or some few actors that start talking about your stuff, and overnight, instantaneously. Tony see it all the time with the star that he knows. What is her name, Tony?
Madison.
The one that had who?
T.S. Madison.
Yes, Tiz Madison. Every time Tiz Madison bring up their perfume on her show, they have so much of an influx in sales. Am I lying, Tony?
Not at all.
To where that they have to drop 60, 100, 200 boxes off that got to be shipped off within a 14-day period. And it happens as soon as she said, they look on the computer, people on there are ordering their perfumes and buy their stuff easy because someone famous is talking about it. And one thing about us, we don't get behind our black designers. Oh, you can't go and spend $70 on this shoe from this good black designer who's trying to create a business and start up something new for our up and coming designers and fashion models and things like that, so we can have our own lane. We don't want to do that, but we don't have no problem giving Michael Jordan, Air Max, LeBron James. People stand outside the mall and camp out for days to buy these shoes. Pre-sale. So the thing is, until we learn to support, Tony got these shoes that's dropping, they look nice. Tony dropping them at $80. I may not be able to go in here and buy 3-4 pounds. I'm going to get one though.
Did you see what I sent you?
In the chat? Or you talking about the on Messenger?
No, I just sent it to Tony. I didn't send it to you. Sorry. It was about some shoes.
We didn't hear you, Tony.
Now,
Oh yeah, I see it.
I'm gonna try to get this link. There's a black shoe designer, and the guy puts out I think a new shoe every week. I'm gonna try to get his link, and I'm gonna send it to you. A friend was telling me.
If you can get that link, Juicy, I think we should reach out to him, Tony. See if we can get him on the show.
Now, but will help Popeye sell them nasty tail chicken sandwiches. Listen, and y'all be round the corner waiting hours for eating them too. Oh,
listen, Popeye wasn't selling chicken. Popeyes was exposing just how all you have to do is do something in the black neighborhood. They want to be a part of it.
Nah.
They want to be the first. They want to be the first to say I had it. I remember going in Popeyes right before the big boom of the chicken sandwich, and I remember they were showing it inside of Popeyes, and I didn't want the chicken sandwich. Nobody was fighting in line to get it, but the following week, I remember Tony say, "You heard about the Popeyes chicken sandwich?" I say, "I saw it, but I didn't know it was a commercial or nothing behind it." This joker showed a video of people in Popeyes fighting about some chicken. I've never seen Popeyes sell out of a goddamn thing, but they were sold out of chicken sandwiches.
Yes, wrecking cars and everything.
Yes.
You know, with the pictures I had sent you, I was gonna say a lot of people are doing that, and they have a good craft in how they can take a shoe and redesign it. I see the major problem is they taking Nikes. There's one lady named Sunday. She's redesigning Walmart shoes and like cheap shoes and making them look cute. But other people, they need their Nikes painted on, dripped out. And they spending the same amount of money and then an additional for somebody to personalize them. Instead of this person going and getting the materials or the shoe base from China and personalizing them themselves.
But see, Juicy, that's the thing, because China is definitely knocking and LeBron them dick in the dirt, because all they do is send people in, infiltrate, look at the shoes, and Chinese have this thing where they can actually memorize the design to the T, and all they do is send it back or sneak pictures of what this shoe supposed to look like, and now you can order hundreds of shoes that have been designed that look just like those regular shoes. Like you say, they learning how to stitch it together, buying the shoes that look alike, and putting it back out. Because see, the only people get questioned about if those are genuine shoes or not are people who have never walked around with a taste of fashion before. Because I guarantee you, the same way people walk around here with these fake Gucci, Louis Vuitton, belts and stuff, shirts and stuff, them the same people walking around with the fake Jordans and stuff. The vast majority of people can't pay consistently $200, $300 for pairs of shoes.
So I sent you in your messenger. You remember Mark Ferrantino we had on the show? He was speaking about being kicked out of his home. There was a one we had read, and he had a story that coincided with it. He has a shoe. His shoe I sent to you in the inbox.
Okay, we'll be back after this commercial.
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy, serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Okay, let me see if I can show the shoe. Hold on.
He also has handbags and coming out with a coat.
That's it. Oh no, I went by that. Definitely like the design of the. Oh God,
Okay.
I like his design makeup for the bags and his logos and stuff.
Yeah, there's this
Sometimes,
other
go ahead, Tony.
there's this other black designer that does shoes, and I think he does handbags also. But I had his page. I used to follow him on Instagram. I'm see if I can find him. And then like you said, I'm trying to get him to come on the show also.
Right, that'll be a good show. We can get that out there and get people following them. But also, we have to do our due diligence also when it comes to as black designers and entrepreneurs that want to get into the fashion industry. You have to make stuff that is appealing to people who buy high-end shoes and to make them want to switch. The reason Nike and LeBron and all these Adidas and Reebok have existed for so long is because they make shoes that is appealing to the masses. And not knocking the man design, but if I saw that shoe with that big old heel, you make people feel, look, you know what I'm saying? Don't look like people who need some extra inches to make them look taller.
Did you take it personal?
Says the shortest person on the ATL family. But I mean, I'm definitely with supporting and spending money with our people. If I'd never done it more in my life, I became more conscious to it. Being brothers with Anthony Brown, and Tony is definitely one person I know that spend money with black more than anybody I know. He definitely support black people. As we see, he went and paid $42 for that one bottle of water. When he was, to support the dude that day. But he's definitely gonna do it. I try to do it as much as I can. Huh?
How's that
Say what?
going? How was the word again? How's that going? The order.
From the guy?
Yeah.
I sent him a message on Instagram to bring him on the show, but he hasn't responded.
Maybe he was still out there selling them $42 bottles of water.
Perhaps.
They were pretty.
The package was, but he got that right out the faucet.
You're such a hater.
Listen, he ain't the only one that do it. Dasani. Matter of fact, to be honest, I remember this was about 2 years back, Tony, where do you know how the people do tests for the alkaline in the water and stuff like that? They took Riviera Beach, Dasani, Smart Water, Evian, Fiji, Aquafina. They took like 12 different bottles, Walmart water, and put the stuff in it. Guess which was the least alkaline water?
The best quality water was Riviera Beach.
Riviera Beach water was better than 11 other bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta also understand, I ain't taking nothing from Riviera Beach. But them companies you name, I don't think Fiji was in there. But those companies.
So you remember the video?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember the video. I remember them doing it. I remember when they were promoting it, you know, and trying, because
All of the
at that time they were
juice,
trying to keep their water.
all of the best water that people buy was tested against Riviera Beach, and they water
Crazy part
was
now is
shit.
since then, the city of Riviera Beach has allowed for them to have required added chemicals and stuff. So they've even changed the quality since then. The city okayed it.
What?
Our people.
Mm-hmm. Because you know why they do that? They did that because in order to keep that quality of water, that means the price of water would have had to go up. And this is why. But I was just reading last week where they go ahead, Juice, before I say that.
They did that because they knew once them people found out that the water coming out their faucet was, they weren't going to be going to the store buying it no more.
Right. So what? You saying that the city of Riviera Beach did that because they didn't want to be sued by other water companies?
You notice they opened up a Publix in their city. Now they generating revenue on grocery.
Well, that's not considered Riviera Beach. That's considered Single Island.
It's still part of the Riviera Beach budget.
I'll check that out, but you might be right. But I know that they didn't put down in Riviera Beach. They put that right on the cusp.
They gotta put that in. They don't want to put nothing in. They don't even want you to come. They don't even want you to put in on in. Stay over there with
exactly.
good. You can't even swim in the coastal.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, that is still Riviera Beach.
Okay, but listen, I was just reading last week about you know Todrick Tony.
Todrick Hall.
Yeah, is that Todrick Hall? I don't know if it's Hall, but he's one of the city councils of Riviera Beach.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, Todrick has sued the city of Riviera Beach, which he works for, this is his 7th lawsuit against the city of Riviera Beach, and he's won 4. And the reason Todrick sued the city of Riviera Beach on this time is because the city of Riviera Beach secretly raised the taxes of the water on the constituents of Riviera Beach without them knowing and without asking them and showing them or giving them a heads up that this would be happening. And they tried to hide it. And Todrick took them to court. And the city of Riviera Beach had to pay his lawyer fees, pay him for his time lost from going back and forth to court. And they had to give a credit from the time that people have made payments on their water bill till recently towards their water bills. So
on everybody's or just his?
Everybody's. Everybody. Todrick is getting these people together over here in the city of Riviera Beach.
Amen, Todrick. Do your thing.
And I'm talking about, I was reading it and I was smiling. I'm like, because enough people do not go to these town hall meetings, none of this thing. You talking about you might have, unless, you know, it got to be something serious. You may have a total of 30, 40 people at a city hall meeting at 8 o'clock. But they hide stuff just like our government hides stuff. They do stuff. Oh, this supposed to be in the best interest of the constituents, but at the same time, or the citizens. But at the same time, you haven't brought this to the citizens' attention of what's going on. You don't ask the people, okay, do y'all think we need to let this developer come into our community and build this right here, but don't hire 60% of black construction workers or black businesses that deal with, you know, architectural work and things of that nature. But you're gonna come inside of Riviera Beach and sneakily give these people this land or these buildings to develop, but you don't even employ the citizens in the city of Riviera Beach to do the work.
You know, they government mocks government, so they are just following the structure of the business that they are under. So, and you know, every Macy's runs the same way. Now, one thing you were pointing out when you were speaking of how he's helping and he's doing these things at the city council meetings. I believe COVID kicked it off, but it could have been before that. But the city council meetings also allow you can email in your response. You can go online and speak instead of being in person. You can still sign up and not have to actually go down to the office and represent. So at this point, like for people who want to get involved and want to make that change, they have more of an opportunity available to them to help make this change because the voice needs to be heard. They're doing way more than just tax increase.
I hear you when you say these are the things that we can do without physically attending, but I really don't think people take the voices of individuals who don't take the time out of their day per se to come to these meetings serious. So
whether they can't not
ahead.
take it serious because it's still a comment that's recorded and docked. And if it's
Juicy, Tony right now, sweetie, can look at a comment that comes in right now and look at it and not post it. He saw it and he can make a decision not to show it or not.
No, you sign up. So you have a spot. And when you go to the city council, if you're in person, if it's 50 people, you number 1 through 50. Now the ones online, they're in there, so it'll be 100 people. Now it's 1 through 100. And if this person signed up, they have a spot. They get recorded. They're on screen. You're being seen. You're not just typing in a text. No, you're being heard.
Okay. Listen, y'all, as Tony always say, you will learn something new on the ATL show every time you hear.
Believe that. Check this out. And I thought this was so I'm gonna say profound, that's the wrong word. I just thought it was sweet. So I wanted to show it because it was a black couple, black love. There we go.
That's how he decided to propose to me, by starting that argument at dinner. He was like, well, let's talk about this marriage thing and how I'm not sure that it's really that. And then he got me revved up. And
you guys are out at dinner. You're
we're
like
at a dinner supposedly celebrating the fact that he had finished the bar exam.
He just brings up it out of nowhere.
He picks a fight. So I deliver because I, too, am a lawyer, and I have my points to be made. So I was in full making my point, and I was like, in 3, and A, and if you think, and da-da-da-da-da. By then, dessert was coming out, and the waiter put a platter in front of me with a little box with a ring on it. And in the middle of the argument, he opened up the box, and he said, now that ought to shut you up.
Oh,
listen, Barack got some game. I like that. Listen, he tested so well for that because if you still want to marry me in the heat of an argument, yeah, you my lady. Yeah.
I said, oh, this ought to shut you up.
I don't know if I can be quiet.
Juicy, you to say I do, Baraka. You know I do, Baraka.
I mean, being in love, I would have said I do, but I don't know if I'd have been quiet. Like I wouldn't have shut me up. Oh, thank you, but
I'd have told you, give me back my motherfucking ring.
Listen.
But at that point, you would realize the argument was just was useless. It wasn't a real argument.
Exactly. What you supposed to have did was got quiet, ducked up under the table, and made him moan. That's what you supposed to have did.
And on that note, check this video out.
This is why in our culture as black people, when the boys turn a certain age, the men come and get him and take him away from the mother because she can emotionally manipulate him. But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Not all.
I don't never know.
Circumstances destroy some people.
That was Ayanna, right, Tony?
Yes.
She got me. I'm in love with Ayanna. Nobody else have to say anything else to me about this no more. She did it. That's it.
I figured you was gonna like that video. I thought I'm gonna save it for last.
Yeah. But guess what, Tony? Being real, if you go back and look at all throughout history, African tribes, Roman, Catholic, all through those eras, other countries, when they are raising their men, all their boys, all of them come and take their children away at the age of 12 and 13, and they can't come back until they complete this mission that is out there for them. And it makes them the best warriors, it makes them the best thinkers, it makes them great, because not saying that mothers are bad, because they're not, but that softer side that women instill in men at that age tends to make them codependent on a woman's decision making, instead of allowing them to embark on a journey that they get to depend on themselves. All throughout history is done that way.
I'm sliding on in there like,
Hold on now. That's too hard. You ain't gotta hit him like that.
breaks, because you know what? I ain't even gonna do it, because I believe in y'all black men. I believe in the fathers of today and tomorrow. And the only reason y'all ain't doing it is because y'all out here working hard, grinding to provide. But what I do say is stand up. Because the only reason why the black women don't have their children going that way is because the black men ain't coming to get them.
Cake.
Ain't no cake, nothing.
Cake.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Cake, I love you. I really do. But Cake, the system within itself does not just hold on.
I'm not saying nothing about the system. I'm talking about the ones who do and the ones who don't. We got a lot out here who make excuses about what they got to do before they do what they got to do. They working extra hard to put Jordans on their children's feet instead of teaching them how to properly shoot the gun so they're not shooting the wrong person.
I agree.
I don't say go out and shoot, but we got a lot of children, especially in my area, gunning each other down over ignorance, having sex, doing things, getting pregnant. People, they been getting pregnant when I was young, since 13. It's younger now.
Well, let me say something right quick.
Girls, the boys is doing it to them. Their lessons are not being because the absence is there.
Well, I just think that we have to get back to that family unity, that family unit of understanding that we have to have both individuals who created that person to be very connected to that child, because they have to get some from each individual. And when that happens and the support is coming from both sides, it's almost impossible to stop that individual, that child, boy or girl, from blossoming into what they need to be.
Yep.
I agree.
And it also will alleviate the tear down from one or the other, because both will be lifting them up. Both will be supporting, both will be encouraging, they'll be co-signing. Because that the parents today, they need to start with the baby mama, baby daddy. It's the child. It ain't got nothing to do with who was and who wasn't. It's the child ain't your baby. You know, your baby, then you start growing up. So you gotta look at the subject and not.
You know what, Kate? I think about what you just said. You just made me think. I'm like, when did the black culture start calling each other baby mama, baby daddy? Because even people that I knew that when I was a kid, who mama and daddies were not together, they wasn't saying, "Oh, my baby daddy coming over to pick up the children." They were saying, "My kid's father or my kid's dad are coming to get him." Now we introduce what's the proper word? Acknowledge the person who we have a child from as, "Oh, that's just my baby mama, that's just my baby daddy."
What was
And
that?
it is ran amok.
You ain't nothing but a hoochie mama, hood rat.
I think the song came out.
Daddy.
When that song came out,
Yep.
When that song came out, and it was from the movie Art.
It was in the 90s.
Yep, Life Imitating Art, and in the 90s was a big transition in the family life. That's when everything we started. That's when we saw him shoot the man in the brain and blow his brains out over him making a joke about his mama.
And also that was when they took away the black family unit, because at that time you got to understand, from like 86 you had the Cosby era and the Different World era, where we was actually still showing family unity and growth and development in our children with those two sitcoms, and then Family Matters.
With 227. So it expanded.
227.
It was more than just a family and home. It was family and community as well. It was community.
Yeah, sure
and
was.
They killed the community, which killed the family.
Right. And then when they went to the last great one we can talk about would be Family Matters. Then they went
Good Times.
The Good Times and stuff was the same, Jefferson, but they wasn't really focused on. Good Times showed the struggle of black people and how we were still hanging in there in the middle of the struggle. The Jeffersons showed a prominent black man having a dry cleaning business, moving up in society, and has grown. And it showed the integration of blacks and whites living right next door to each other in the same building and being okay with another. And they also showed the interracial spectrum of whatever the white guy was and the black lady being married at that time that lived next door. Who?
Helen and Tom Willis.
And then it showed the mammy. It showed the mammy with Marla Gill being a maid, but it also showed that we had to move from being the Yester Master to we were talking back now. And then we moved on, like I said, to the Cosby Show. And the Cosby Show, let's look at Different Strokes and Webster. Both of those black kids were adopted by rich white people that were showing that we're taking care of them. With them, the food stamp recipients and things of that was that about. Then we moved into the Cosby Show, and Bill Cosby said, "You know what? Enough of that. We're gonna show a grander scale of our kids growing up, finishing high school, thinking about high school, and going off to college." Then it came Different World, and then we came up with, a lot of people don't understand that Martin show was created to destroy the Cosby Show. And it did. It actually went into the era of killing the Cosby Show because after Martin came out, the ratings for the Cosby Show dropped so much that they had to end the Cosby Show. And then guess what was the next show that came out? We are living single in the 90s kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl that came out, and now everybody want to be independent.
Well, you skipped the Marlins brothers, the Wayne brothers.
That was just two black men being very dumb.
But they also were single.
Here's something I wish we get rid of is when there's two households, mother, father, and two separate households, and let's say the mother got custody of the kids, the father get the kids on the weekends, or the mama might have to work and she drop the kids off at the father's house or whatever, and then you call the dad and say, "Yo, player, what you doing?" Or I'm just watching my kids. No, you're not watching your kids. You are raising your children. Those are your kids.
So you mean babysitting? They say I'm babysitting my kids.
I'm babysitting or I'm watching my kids. No, you're not watching. You're not babysitting. You're raising.
I would have to correct some girls, some young ladies or young moms when they would say, I would, we can meet at this time. I don't know. I have to see if he'll watch him, if he'll babysit. Huh? Like, he can call in to work. You ain't gotta be the one. Not the only one.
Okay.
You say he can call. You say he can call. He can call in.
If the baby sick and need somebody to be.
So if she ain't working and he work, but she want to go do.
See, I don't know about them people who just be like, I don't know that group. Remember, I'm not in that sector. I didn't say she wasn't working. They were not the words that came out of my mouth. I said partnership, equality. He could call in too.
Like I'm gonna tell you, like the day, Juicy, that you say that. My daughter this morning, her mama had to take her to a doctor's appointment, and when she took her to the doctor's appointment, I didn't know she had to take her to a doctor's appointment, but she texted me and asked me about 8 o'clock this morning. No, about 9. She was like, "I'm over here at the doctor. Can you meet me at my job to pick Naya up because we just coming from the doctor's appointment, and you can take her to the school." No. I was home. So of course I went and got. But the way that the doctor's appointment is, the way she worked, and where's her school at, my daughter's school would have been her coming past her job, coming back past me to take my daughter to school, then come back across, back passing me to go back over the bridge to take herself to work. So it was nothing for me to get up and go pick up my daughter and take her to school because I was home. But that's because I have a desire to make sure that this little thing get all the education that she can get, that I'm not a part of at that moment until she come home from school. So of course I can pick her up and get her to school and get her when she get out this day, because that's what I want to do as a father. There was no need of her going home for the rest of the day. You got to go to school.
The only thing when I said, no, she should have communicated is, like, you're home doing nothing and you can go do that. I think you should have been informed so that you could be at that doctor's appointment to see what's going on with your daughter.
But Kate, and I agree, but 99% of the time I am. But I'm not in West Palm. I'm in their area where they live at. So when I come over to this area, if she's already unplanned, she didn't know that I was even coming to my home over here. So when I text when I I text her this morning. That's when she told me she was at the doctor's appointment, because normally this would have been my weekend to pick my daughter up and bring her back to West Palm. But I came over Wednesday for a job interview. So when I came over here for the
so I'm not saying anything on your end like you didn't do your part, but what I think that a lot of women fail to do in co-parenting is let it be that equality. We want it, but then we don't. So on the fact of she's sick, she called mom or whoever she found out that your daughter was sick. At that time, baby sick. Just being aware of the same thing that's going on. We don't do that often because we're the one, you're not here, so we do what we got to do, and then we fill you in on what we need you to do. Now that's not fair to the father, because that's putting the father in a position where he's accustomed to only doing what's needed. Now, what if something happened and you got to do more? Now you think you're being taken advantage of, when really not. It's just it's time to step up.
Not used to doing more. Right.
And so I think that the communication should be something that should be, communicated with. But there's a lot of couples who can't communicate. And that's what I mean by get past the baby mama, baby daddy, and know that this is for the well-being of the child. Because even if it's a text, but you got your girlfriend, but what's she calling you for? Your baby don't need all that. Or him, what he calling for? I mean, I'm here. Tell him she got a daddy. Ego, loving through the ego. How much do you think separated parents should interact?
If it has something to do with the kid, they got to know. Depend on the age of the child. Because if it's a child from 1 to 5 and the communication levels are low, far as,
Good evening, Donovan.
What's up, D? If the communication levels, far as with the child as being young, yes, you need to definitely have a. Don't forget to hit that like button. Correct, Kamal. Correct. But it depends on the age. My daughter's at an age where she's 10, and she's very communicable, and she can talk and she can articulate. And if your child at that age can't call and tell what's going on with her, and you can keep him, and you can keep a communication with them, but they can spend 99.9% of their time on Facebook. I'm talking about the kids, and they don't communicate with their parent. Then that child don't need a damn phone. But my thing is, I like that tone. I like that you look like you part of the show in the back.
And why you say the child don't need a phone? Because the child not making use with the phone by reaching out to their parents.
I try my best to call my child at least twice a day. I try to call in the morning, make sure I hear her voice and tell her, have a good day at school. And then I call when she get out of school, and I try to help with homework as much as I can. But at the same time, as a parent, you can't make a child pick up a telephone and call if they don't want to, regardless if they have one or not. So it has to be on the other parent's end, on the other end, that say, hey, have you talked to your mama today? Have you talked to your daddy today? You need to call, check in. Am I right?
I don't know. I think it's the parents' job to call.
You have to teach responsibility at an early age, and not just certain things. You have to teach responsibility of a child at an early age, so that, like you say, the father who thinks when he have to do more, or the mother thinks who she had to do more in this situation, feel like they're taken advantage of. The reason that they feel like they're being taken advantage of, you clearly spoke and said, was because they have not been told or required to do more than what they're doing. So the little bit that he or she is doing, when the expectations of more come about, they feel like they're being used. So if you require certain things at an age of 8, 9, 10, if they can pick up the phone and call and speak to their grandmama every day, they can pick up the phone and speak to their mama every day. You can pick up your phone and call your parent, your other parent, just the same. And
So
it's also when I have my daughter with me, it's not one day that when I get up after I get myself together that I don't tell my daughter, hey, you got your phone on the charger? Hey, go pick up your phone, call your mama and see how she doing this morning. Go check on your brothers. Because that's what I want her to know, that this is part of what you do on a day-to-day basis. Because life is too short. And because you didn't make that call or try to make that call in the time frame that you could have made the call at 9, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning to check, they died at 12 o'clock and you ain't calling till 2 o'clock. And you missed that time frame of being able to hear your mother, brother, sister, daddy voice in between that time when you wasn't doing anything.
You know, I think when I was speaking about the building relationship, kids call their grandparents because they built a relationship. And so if you have that interaction and keep that going from the youth and rear on up, then that child will feel comfortable to check in and call. It'll be like second nature. But if the child didn't get shown how to love, and it's not the mother who has to do it, the father calling every day and reaching out and making the gesture to know this is, I'm not in your life, but I check on you daily, then the child will at 10 or 11, I'm free. I'd rather talk right now than when he might have time. Let me call now because I might want to play video games. They will work it into their regiment because this is something they're accustomed to. But you have to be active as the parent and get the child to be responsible, not put the responsibility on another person to teach the child to be.
It's a two-way street, Juicy. You have to learn from both sides. And Tony would tell Tony, how many fathers that you know are more active in their kids' lives than me and Darren and Chuck?
None.
How many times, Tony, do you know as a father that me and Darren and Chuck are not there for our kids, trying to reach out and communicate on a daily basis?
I'm always reaching out.
Now, I do this on a daily basis, Juicy. Hold on. I do this on a daily basis, Ju. And my daughter is 10 and she will burn up her whole phone battery playing games on the phone and forget to call me. And I'm a very active father in my child's life.
So she burned it up because she had that at 10, she had the expectation that you're going to. And that's where you still need to.
But you're proving my point. That you're proving my point because when she's with me, Cake, her phone never dies. You know why it never dies? Because as an active parent, go put your phone on the charger, let that phone charge, so that in case your mama call, you can answer the phone. If that phone does die, go put that phone on the charger so that phone can charge up. It's not going to die on my watch because anything can happen and she needs to be able to have a way to communicate with her mama. That's just because that's something as a parent that I want to do. Then I'm going to do it on my end because she's away from her mama. That's what I do.
But see, that's not her mother's concern because her mother feels, well, she got to communicate with me because she's with me. And she's not
exactly.
And she's not concerned if she communicate with you.
Because she's with her.
Correct. So that's why I say parents have to make sure that open way of communication. And on top of that, when she knows that I do all that I can not to have to call her phone. So if you see that I'm not trying to call your phone as the other parent, you make sure that window of communication is always open, that line, because he don't rarely call my phone. And even if this phone is dead, her phone is dead, I'll go a day or two to see if you gonna just make sure that her phone charged up. And maybe on the third day, hey, it's been 2 days, you ain't made sure her phone was charged. Oh, I'll tell her to call you from my phone. No, that's why she got that phone. So and that's why I pay the bill. So that line of communication can be open and I don't have to call your phone.
Well, again, nothing against you and how you do. I think you do a phenomenal job. And my siblings are in my nephews and nieces' life. So I know it's fathers who do. I'm speaking of the ones who don't and then try to say to that, even to the child, your mama ain't teach you to call me.
Oh, shit.
No, mama ain't gonna teach you either.
Listen, Cake, I don't mean to cut you off, but we are over by 1 minute. And we got to get ready to get out of here. And we're going to go ahead and...
Care to look at us, Tony?
Yeah. We're going to go and get up out of here. We're going to start on Cake. Let them know, Mama.
You can find me here on the ATL show Tuesday and Friday at 9 o'clock. On Facebook as Nicole Purse. Miss Juicy Cakes on TikTok, or Miss Beautiful on Instagram. And check out our website at enliventoyou.com.
All right. We appreciate you, Kate. You can go ahead and bring out the man. Chantel says,
what's important to one parent may not be important to the other. Some people take things for granted.
That's true, too.
And that is true. That is very true. Well, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And we're going to bring the boss man out, the one that makes it possible for us to be in this ATL world, on this ATL land, to do our things and be able to bring information out to you guys the best that we can with no ill intentions. We just basically speak from our heart and speak the truth. The boss man, AB, let them know.
I'm Anthony Brown. You can find me on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube under Anthony Brown or The Anthony Brown Show. You can also find me on my Facebook page is Anthony the Writer. Email me at The Anthony Brown Show at gmail.com. I'm also on TikTok and Facebook Reels under Anthony Brown 561. Words to live by, you gotta grind until you shine. And for business purposes only, call me at 561-768-3710.
All right. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you for allowing us to be in this position that we in. God and you. We appreciate you. Y'all know who I am. This is Legacy the Great, the only great one. And you can reach out to me on Facebook under Dream Williams. My YouTube is Legacy. My YouTube is Legacy the Great. Also, you can reach out to me at my email for business purposes and things of that nature at legacyunlocked@mail.com. My cell phone number for business purposes only is 229-630-7615. If you can't reach me there, then reach out to me at 561-907-9129. And as we get ready to get out of here, want to give a quick shout out to my sister that had to leave early, Tayama Sweetness. We appreciate you coming in and giving us a little bit of love before you went to go become a millionaire at the casino. And just want to say, just stay focused. That's the one. Just stay focused and work hard towards your dreams and goals. But at the same time, never belittle yourself or accept things to comprehend who you are as a male, woman, especially us black people. We do that enough to one another. So if you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything. And my voice, ATL home.
28 grams of moss, 28 grams of moss. Little people the kings, little people the kings. Y'all ain't ready for this, y'all ain't ready for this. Yeah. champion. I'm the champion. Don't know why you cats wanna wait to be with the street just to give you cats a chance to eat. What you got for early didn't finish the plate. Now that I'm back, you rap cats are gonna have to wait. Been gone a whole year, still nobody got the leadership or the heart to even feel my spot. I'm the champion, must I say it again? The best in this rap game and I continue to win. Still I'm allergic to that, losing makes me sneeze. That's like you phony rap cat, I'm about to make it squeeze. Bring your whole crew, nigga, I'ma swallow that. So when it pops off, ATL is on a holler back. It's 28 grams, nigga. I've been running this shit. So anything in front of me can fuck around and get hit. I follow you rap cats, so you niggas my sons and I'm the truth. Why? Cause I'm the motherfucking champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. I'm the champion. Still rep the AT, but I carry my throne. God bless every child that can hold it home. And I am that child, as you niggas can see. Cause ain't another rapper out here better than me. And this goes to anybody trying to steal my spot. I'm number one in this shit, so number one you die. So when you can't scream, y'all is the best, I laugh. Like really, you cats don't really know the half. You do the math, and that's yourself who really great. Then add it up and watch it equal up to 28. So that's the little cats know who really the done. I'm overall, I let you niggas fight for number one. Yeah, put that on my life, put that on my son. Gotta stay the best of people, leaking trade love. In my throne, I'm a key.